Welcome back to Tech Talks from Commercial Baking. I'm your host, Maddie Lambert. In this episode, sponsored by Delkor, I'm speaking with Kevin Weiss, VP of Operations, about vision-based robotics, speed, and efficiency with the Evo Series case packer. Kevin, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited to talk today, specifically because the phrase small but mighty is certainly applicable when talking about the Evo Series case packer. Can you provide a brief overview on how this compact equipment brings a new spin to automation?
I can. Yeah, we like to think about Evo as really a performance rethink. Evo is a really compact case packer, but the key to making all this happen is that the gantry system actually picks up two packages simultaneously inside of one cell. Traditionally, a robot would usually pick up a single robot arm, or a Delta style would pick up one package per cycle. Whereas in this case with Evo, the key to doing all this is picking up two at a time. We combine vision-guided robotics with high-speed product handling and really get the performance out of what would be a traditional collation style loader with vision based. So that gets you the high reliability, the vision of each package separately, and the ability to pick at very high speed. So it's kind of like combining all of the best worlds together into one case packer.
So automation is the answer for many commercial bakeries seeking not only increased productivity, but improved ergonomics as well. So can you speak to the specific aspects of the Evo design that address these needs?
Definitely. As I talked about with Evo, we get really high speeds that are comparable to traditional systems, but it's a vision-based system. So one of the things I want to stress with a vision-based system is that we are looking at every package individually and orientating the robot picks in a singular fashion, even though Evo is picking up two per cell to get the high speeds. The best part of that with the forming, the loading, and the closing in the case packers, we can offer reliability for each module up to about 99.5% availability. And the way that we can do that is many technologies put together. So the Evo, like I talked about, is a vision-based system. So it's going to look at each one individually and track that. There's a lot more going on, like forming the case and closing the case inside the whole system. And on the forming side, we actually have a patented system called corrugated warp correction technology. And what that does, it's actually the number one issue in a lot of plants, is the material. It's a natural fiber, right? So you have humidity, you have storage issues, you have aging, you have laminations or coatings on some sides of the paper that cause it to warp. And that's fairly common. There's a standard out there, but what we've done is been able to correct that and tension the blank as it's going through the system. And that can tolerate up to 3 times the standard that's out there for allowable warp. So we get the former to run, and we get it to run very well, even with material that may not be perfect. So that's a key piece to keep it up and running. And we talked about Evo, and then our closer has a very similar open system as well. So we're getting productivity, we're getting something very compact and ergonomic.
And circling back on the speed, because that is a big factor that when commercial bakeries are looking to get their product out into the world, they want it to be efficient. And many commercial bakeries, they produce a lot of SKUs. You know, they have product on C-store shelves and in big box stores. And I've heard that bakers who need and want this kind of versatility run into ceilings and challenges like long changeovers and speed ceilings. So how does Delkor address those specifically with this solution?
Sure. The whole Evo system is equipped with what we call smart lock technology, which is probably the coolest part about all the different SKUs and putting it together. Smart lock is a changeover system. So, really every single Evo line that we've shipped and our other equipment, we're going to be doing, at least about 5 packages or format changeovers. And we've done upwards of like 100, 150. So that's very normal for us to handle. But for all the producers in the baking industry, it's all about how do I switch over and not have downtime from the next one to the next. With Evo, what we have is smart lock. And the way that it works is each changeover point, so it's usually on like a linear slide, those are programmed into the HMI. And we have a braking system, a locking system that all you really do, and it's got a visual indicator. You hit the program to switch over to the next size, and you just slide that system into place, and then the lock comes on automatically when it's in place, and the system turns green, and it tells the HMI that you're set to go. The previous generations, and we've done these machines too, have usually like an screw system or another fairly complicated belted system where you're going to a set point, you're looking at a scale, like a ruler on something, and you're kind of locking into position. Smart lock takes all of that away. It's super rigid and it's super simple, and it really can't be messed up. That's a big piece for speed for changeover. So we've gone, let's say, from something that was fast already with Evo, may have been 15 minutes. We can do the whole line in about 10 minutes.
I want to give you a hypothetical scenario. Let's say a small or a mid-sized bakery has really hit its growth spurt and it's hitting its stride, and its growth is outpacing its operational footprint. How does the Evo system help increase output without sacrificing space? Because as you mentioned, space is it's expensive. It's hard to scale and expand, but if it's needed, if your growth is there, how does it help?
Yeah, a couple things there that help. The fact that Evo is modular, that's a big thing for the customers that have purchased Evo so far, is that I can start with a system that's relatively small, and maybe it's running 70 or 140 packages per minute, but later on I can add a cell to get the speeds that I need as my bakery or whatever expands. So that is one piece of it. The fact that they are modular and we can offer different layout configurations. So we do what's called like an inline or counterflow. That's where like the cases will be going one way and the product is going another way. They kind of meet in the middle. We can do them in co-flow where they run together. We can even take the former module and the closer module and put them in different locations, even up on mezzanine. So the whole way that the case packer has been built or engineered is to make it kind of like Legos, where you can move things around and make it easy. But that really, the good side about that from a design piece is that it doesn't slow the machine down, right? Moving those things around don't make it any less of a high performing system. So that's good. The piece about Evo, like we talked about previously, though, is that the cells are small, right? I mean, a full line of former loader and closer that can run, 140 packages per minute and case speeds up to 50 cases a minute. That's about a 30-foot long system, and it's only about 6 feet wide.
Okay, so I just have one last question for you. How can bakers who are interested in this solution get started?
Our website is a good spot to start. We actually just finished a 6-month long refresh on our website. So we've got a ton of information on Evo and the rest of our supporting equipment that goes along with Evo. But one thing I would encourage too is to get to Delkor. If you know case packing and you know what Evo could do for your operations, we'd love to make an offer to come out. We've got an on-site packaging lab so we can help people develop their packages. We see the machine as kind of the means, but the end is people want their products to look good on the shelf and at the retail stores and club stores, et cetera. So we'd love to have you out and do that. We're actually running right now this summer and this fall. We're doing demo days, which we invite customers to come out. We pay for their flights through Delta Miles, et cetera. They can come in and do a full tour and meet our team and see their product actually run on Evo right here. We have a demo machine to do so.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Also, thank you so much for your time. This was super insightful. I really appreciated learning more about the Evo series, and I just love this origin story.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having us. It's great.